Hey everyone, Dion here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Mac app called Übersicht, an awesome app that lets you customize your Mac's desktop. There's something about customizing your computer setup that brings a certain level of satisfaction. I customize a ton of stuff when it comes to my personal setup, and some of my favorite customizations come through an app called Übersicht. Übersicht is a neat little app that lets you add widgets to your Mac's desktop. These widgets can be just about anything. My personal favorite, system stats. Then you have things like clocks, calendars, stock tickers, news readers, you name it, there's probably a widget for it. And this doesn't even scratch the surface. Widgets are built using HTML and JavaScript, so it's pretty easy to customize an existing widget or build one of your own. This also means there are literally infinite possibilities for what you can put together. Let's go take a look at my setup. I'll show you where to grab Übersicht. We'll take a look at a cool widget, make some changes to it, and I'll show you how easy it is. All right, so we're here on my desktop and you can see these widgets here in the top left are from Übersicht. Übersicht, I don't know. I've called it Übersicht forever, but I decided to look up the actual way to say it, and it's Übersicht. So you'll hear me go back and forth. Anyway, that's beside the point. So here, yeah, you can see I've got a few different widgets. I've got a system like CPU usage. So it shows what I'm using, what the system's using, and what's idle. We've got a memory usage. You can see total 32 gigs. You can see what it's doing. There's a disk usage widget. This one is monitoring the system drive. There's a little bit of configuration after, Apple made all those changes with, I believe, Big Sur. I'm not 100% positive there, but yeah. Anyway, you can customize that to pick whatever drive or multiple drives to watch. Got a network throughput monitor. So this one shows download speed and upload speed. And then this one I really like. Obviously, you can see I'm doing some screen recording here. And OBS is taking a fat chunk of processing power as recording the desktop here. But yeah, I just have this showing the top 5 processes that are using up the most CPU usage. So yeah, like I said before, I like to be able to see what my Mac is doing. Oh, let's not forget this. This is a little stock ticker widget that I grabbed somebody else's widget and then I customized it to kind of match the colors and stuff that I like. I'm a big fan of the Monokai color scheme, and so I've made a lot of my widgets match that. And then we've got music open, so if I hit play here, you're not going to hear any music because it's probably copyrighted, but if I hit play, you're going to see down here a little now playing widget, which, this will load data from the music app or Spotify, and it will show an album art, song progress, artist, song, album, and the year. And then I believe for music, I have it set to show a little heart somewhere if you favorite or love a song. So anyway, yeah, those are the widgets that I've got. Let's look at where we can go grab this. So let's jump into Chrome here and we'll look up Übersicht really quick. So just here, tracesof.net is the main website for this. You can download the latest version here, and then you can also come here to get community-made widgets. And this, it gives you a little bit of an explanation. Yeah, widgets are written using HTML5, and I mean, literally, you can do anything. Like, let's take a look at this screenshot. We've got a cool clock here in the middle saying, "Good morning, Felix," which is probably the current user. I mean, you've got kind of the same deal as my top 5 apps over here. You've got Xcode, Windows Server, and OCSPD, whatever that is. I don't know. Oh, I guess this is probably how much RAM each one is using. And then this is how much CPU each one is using. So, I mean, there are a lot of cool things that you can do with the app. But yeah, so if you download it, it's just like any other app. We can click download real quick. It's going to dump it into our download folder. You double click, it extracts it. We've got the Übersicht app. You just drop that into your applications folder, and there you go. Anyway, I've already got it installed, so I'm just going to toss those away. And I'm OCD, so I'm going to empty my trash. Yeah, anyway. So we've got that installed. What you'll want to do is obviously open it. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. So anyway, it's going to show up in its little icon up here, and you can see I've got all of these widgets running. And what you can do is you can open the widgets folder, which mine I have customized. So you can see my widgets. I don't like where it puts it because it's going to put it in like application, you know, like in your library folder, buried deep down somewhere, and it's always a pain to navigate to that. So what I like to do, I just make a projects folder, and then, oh, apparently I misspelled that. But I've got my projects here. So it's got my Übersicht widgets, and then I've got another folder. Like if I want to turn a widget off, you basically just pull it out of the widget folder, drop it, you know, drop it in here. And then if I come up here and say refresh, oh, nope, it's cached it. So if I quit Übersicht, and we reopen it, now you'll see that that CPU widget is gone. So we can put it back in there, and I think, yeah. So removing them, you can't just drag and drop that, but adding them, you just drop a widget in this folder, and it's that easy. So let's go grab a widget really quick. So if we come back over here to the website, and we'll go to get widgets, and we'll wait a sec for this to load. And there, I mean, like, there's literally like a million things on here, and some of them are really, really good. Check this one out. It's got all kinds of stuff on here. If we scroll, I mean, Captain America Civil Shield, I don't know what that does, but there's lots of cool stuff. Check out this one. This one has got all kinds of stuff on here. I don't know, like people just make all kinds of cool stuff. Lots of clocks, you know, different clocks and stuff. There was one of those word clocks on here. Where the heck is that? That one looks really cool. We're not gonna play with it today, but it is a cool clock to check out. Let's see here. Oh, see, you can see, look, someone else has kind of made another one that matches what I've got. Oh, here you go. 3 jizzing 28. That's, I mean, you know, people just do whatever. But let's go back up to the top. Anyway, let's check out this clock and calendar. This one, you know, clean, simple, looks really nice. We're just gonna download this real quick, and I will show you guys what it takes to get this installed. So, downloaded, double click it, extract. So it's just a folder with a coffee script in it. So what you'll do, we're gonna move this window over here and get this one out of the way. And basically, if we just drag and drop this widget folder, you can see it's already automatically loaded that widget up. And that's it. I mean, it's there. We can see it. It's loaded on the desktop. Now, if you want to start customizing widgets, what you can do, go find one that you like. You know, I like this clock and calendar. I don't like that it's over here, kind of interfering with my icons. I think it would be better like here in the middle of the screen. So let's edit this. I like Visual Studio Code. And we can take a look here. So we can see that this is in the top right. Obviously it's up there. So what we can do is, let's say, yeah, top. We're gonna say top 50%. And how about we do left 50%, and we save that, and it went somewhere. Okay, so it's almost in the middle. You know, HTML can be a little tricky. But as you can see, I guess let's look at this file really quick. So up here is the command it's running to get the time, and then right here are the, well, is the command it's running, the system command. It's basically, you know, just a terminal command that it's running to get and build a calendar. And then it's saying update every 1,000 milliseconds. So yeah, you can see clock is updating here. Calendar doesn't really need to update that often. So what is that? 3,600,000 milliseconds. What is that, like a day, once a day? That's all that calendar needs to update. It doesn't need to update very frequently, so yeah. Or is that hourly? That's probably, is that, I think that's hourly. Anyway, okay, so yeah, this is a command. It's making the clock, the calendar, and then down here is the CoffeeScript version of the CSS. So it's, you can make the changes to the CSS here, which is going to let you change the colors, locations, all of that stuff. So yeah, the rest of this is different JavaScript to kind of build and put the different parts together. And then, you know, this one's fairly advanced, but you could probably go with like one of these over here, which is much simpler. But yeah, anyway, here, let's put this down. Let's put this somewhere out of the way so we can actually see. Here, I'm gonna put this over here. And I want this to be in the middle. And I cannot remember the CSS for this. So let's go, let's see, I closed the widgets folder. So let's open that back up. Widgets folder, and I believe the now playing widget has some really useful code for getting or transforming, there we go, transform, translate. So this is kind of handy because it lets you it'll let us put that calendar like right in the middle of the screen. So we'll come down here, we will say, you know, I was on the right path. Let's say X, let's do that. Oh, yeah. Y, maybe let's do like 40. Oh, whoops, changed the wrong one there. Right? Let's say top like 40%. Maybe like 35. How about that? Yeah, that looks like it's in the middle. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we've got that. Look, really quick, we could change the color. It uses hex. So let's see. Let's do red, no green, no blue. There you go. I mean, it's that easy. You can just a little bit of CSS, a little bit of HTML stuff, and you can totally customize this. I don't like the calendar hanging out there, so let's see. The calendar, let's scroll through here. Oh, margin left. How about we just do margin here? Because this is a table, and if we do that, there we go. So our margin auto will automatically put a certain amount of margin on the left and the right, which end up centering it. And I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, we can close that. I don't want to mess with that one, but this one, yeah, this one is customized. I mean, you can do, let's look. Okay, so we customized the calendar and the clock here. Let's open the widget folder again. And let's look at the CPU usage, because this one is much, much simpler. It's a whole lot of CSS and whatnot, but if you look, it runs a simple command showing the, getting the CPU usage. I'm telling it to update every 5 seconds. And then here is all the CSS used to make that. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Well, pretty straightforward. You just kind of have to jump in here and play around a little bit. But like I said, the possibilities are literally infinite. Whatever you can think up, you can make. And people make all kinds of cool stuff. I've thought about building some stuff that have graphs. You could import JavaScript libraries that already have a lot of functionality to make whatever you want. Oh, speaking of making widgets, I used this stock ticker widget by, where's the name? Virana. So I use this stock ticker widget to build my stock ticker widget here. And, it's using the same backend. It's like if we go view this on GitHub real quick, you can view, oh, that is not what we're looking for. Oh, sorry, this isn't the creator's GitHub repository, but I can show you mine. So, okay, so look at the symbol list, Google. Like if we go look at mine, it is just using the same stuff. And then I just added the little arrows. But yeah, there you go, symbol list. It just queries, curls, uses the curl command from Yahoo Finance, drops the symbols in there. The data that it gets back, it builds into the widget. And so every time it does an update, it goes through this process, and what it renders is this little chunk of code here. And then for each ticker, it's going to dump out, it's going to append this code each time. So you can see that it's going to keep iterating over this, and it's going to make a new table row each time for each ticker you put in there. As we can see, there's my list: Apple, Amazon, Google, Johnson & Johnson, whatever. Those are the ones I'm interested in. It iterates over, builds that, spits it out, and then if we scroll back here, it updates every 15 minutes because I don't want to, I don't care to know minute by minute changes. I'm not a day trader. But yeah, that's kind of how that works. And again, you can see I've put these in very specific locations just because I kind of like it up there in the top left corner, but maybe you want it at the bottom. Maybe you want it somewhere else. You can go in and change all of that stuff. You can change the colors. You can change, all of it to match whatever you want. So it's very, very flexible. But yeah, if you keep going, there are some really, really great widgets. You used to be able to sort by downloads, I think a long time ago, but it doesn't look like, looks like he's removed, Felix has removed that functionality from his website, which, yeah, I don't know, maybe it was causing issues. Maybe people were botting it and moving their widget to the top, who knows? But yeah, if you get down to some of these older widgets, they are very cool. Like, check this guy out. He's got his own total bar across here. You've got battery, you've got Spotify integration. That's, yeah, you can bake whatever you want into it. You can use a bunch of different widgets, or you just go through and, compile a bunch of them together. Oh yeah, here's that word clock that I was talking about. I don't read that language, whatever it is. Norwegian? NL? Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, it's cool. People, like I said, make everything you can think of. Look at that, Zelda battery life, heart, icons. I mean, like it is very interesting. Yeah, here's a simple now playing widget. Well, that's cool. Mac OS 9 startup. Yeah, this one, apparently it shows your OS version somewhere in there. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on here. Gradient background, see, look at that. That's an entire background. And you can set it to be animated. That's pretty cool. That's a good looking clock. Yeah, there are tons of things you can do here. So yeah, possibilities are limitless. Like, go out and do something crazy. You know, this Übersicht reminds me of an old app that I used to use on Windows. Like, we're talking, you know, 20 years ago, called Samurai's. Oh, look at that. Samurai's was kind of like the start of this. People would make, oh dear. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff here. But yeah, Samurai's kind of the same deal. You can see down here, you've got some little meters, some stuff on the side. Yeah, it took a minute for that. But yeah, you can see it's kind of got some of the same stuff. The other Windows app that a lot of people like to use is Rain Meter, which, you know, you can get a lot of ideas for. Let's see if we go to Discover. I wonder if that's where we can see. Oh, here, let's look on here for a second. Yeah, here you go. Skins, kind of the same deal. Anyway, that's beside the point since you can't run that app on your Mac. But Übersicht is pretty cool, and I would definitely recommend checking it out, just because, man, it is ultra flexible. Let's zoom in on this. Oh yeah, check that out. This guy has done some work, guy or girl. Clarence. Yeah, you've got time, calendar, temperature, the weather. Looks like, what is that? CPU usage, RAM usage, disk usage, Wi-Fi network, IP address, wireless IP, and Ethernet. You know, your plugged in IP. That's pretty cool. But yeah, that's Übersicht. Übersicht. I honestly can't tell you how many years I've been using Übersicht, but it's been a long time. It's one of those apps that I feel like I can't live without. I like being able to see what my Mac is doing all the time. I've made and customized a bunch of my own widgets, and they're posted on my GitHub. There's a link to that in the description if you're interested. Anyway, I really hope you go take a look at Übersicht. I'm sure the creator Felix would appreciate it. Thank you guys for stopping in. I appreciate any feedback, and if you have any suggestions for a video, hit me up on Twitter and let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.